think I'm now stood where legends like Dennis Law and Colin Bell would have kicked off from. Colin Bell there, one of the legends of the club, pre the current era really. Roque Santa Cruz, Gareth Barry, Emmanuel Adebayor, Kolo Touré, Jolien Lescott and Carlos Tevez. With an estimated net worth of 17 billion and a family net worth of over $1 trillion, it's fair to say that Sheikh Mansour has changed the fortunes of Manchester City. The blue half of Manchester, also known as Ardwick Association Football Club before 1894, are now one of the richest clubs in world football. But before they had moved to the Etihad, albeit that was before the Sheikhs turned up, they played at a stadium called Maine Road. They had won 2 top-tier titles before Sheikh Mansour turned up. That is now 6 top-tier titles, with a 7th soon to be one as well. It's looking likely, isn't it? The success is here to stay, but it's not all Kompany, Touré, Aguero and Silva though. What about the league-winning heroes of the 30s and the 60s? The likes of Alan Oakes, Mike Doyle, Francis Lee, Dennis Law, Bert Troutman, just to name a few. In this video, I'll be exploring their old stadium location, which is where I am now, funnily enough. I'm about to go and have a look around the old site of Maine Road, where they once were. The centre circle is still here, it's just in front of me. I'll also be going down to the Etihad shortly to, have a look at their more recent history and talk a little bit about how their fortunes have changed pre and post, the takeover. I really do appreciate all the support lately. Please do remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. I'll leave some of my favourite comments on screen from the past few videos. I can't fit all of you on there, unfortunately, but yeah, a huge thanks to the people who have watched, shared, left a comment, all that kind of stuff. Peter Crouch and their podcast, who passed the pod. When you listen to their pod, you better tell one other person about it. Why don't you pass the vlog after watching this? Why don't you send a link of one of my videos to a mate of yours, tweet it, stick it on Facebook, something like that. I'd really, really appreciate it if you could share these videos. I am doing a giveaway as well today, so yeah, if you want to win some Man City related stuff, no matter where you are in the world, if you support them or not, or if you're just into football and you've enjoyed my videos, I will be buying some stuff in the club shop later, and I've also got some other stuff as well to give away, a little bit similar to my Everton video I did recently. So yeah, stick around to find out how you can win. There's Blue Moon Way up there, as you can see, and yeah, all around this area there are nods to the old stadium. I'll be taking you to the centre circle just shortly. So yeah, the home of Manchester City was here from 1923 till 2003, 80 years, and funnily enough, their new stadium, the City of Manchester Stadium, or the Etihad as it's now called, is actually closer to their original place where they were formed or founded, Ardwick, funnily enough. So, but yeah, look, here is the old centre circle of where the pitch used to be. You can even see here, look, in memory of Manchester City groundsman Stan Gibson, who loved and cherished the Maine Road pitch for 40 years. Gibson's Green. I love that they've kept this here for such a legend of the club, Stan Gibson, not a player, not a manager, but a man who's given so much to Man City. And yeah, amazing to see that they've kept this sort of centre spot here where it used to be. And to think I'm now stood where legends like Dennis Law and Colin Bell would have kicked off from. Absolutely unreal. And Shaun Goater, but we won't talk about that too much. All residential buildings, newer builds, which yeah, that happens a lot where stadiums go. Obviously, they're inner city areas or something like this. They usually get turned into houses. 58,000 fans turned up to watch City's first ever game here against Sheffield United. That was in August of 1923, and that is around 20,000 more people than the average attendance at Manchester City over the last couple of seasons. So yeah, a smaller population, a less successful team, but obviously huge attendances. City also played here during World War II and showed that football is better at bringing people together than driving them apart. Manchester United's Old Trafford was damaged during the Manchester Blitz, the bombing raids, and yeah, Manchester United had to play here at Maine Road for about 4 years. United also used Maine Road for their 56-57 European Cup campaign because their ground didn't have floodlights, but Maine Road did, and that was a UEFA requirement at the time. This place was used for multiple neutral matches as well, from yeah, England internationals to FA Cup semi-finals. It was a bit of an old stadium, of course. It was built in the 20s, but in the 90s it got modernised a lot due to the Taylor Report. Plans to expand Maine Road were sort of put on hold in the early 2000s. They were spoken about, but they were, yeah, like I say, put on hold as Manchester City decided to move into the newer state-of-the-art City of Manchester Stadium, again, nearer to where they were formed, actually, which was built for the Commonwealth Games, which was held here in Manchester in 2002. The last competitive match here was against Southampton in 2003, which Man City lost. However, City's last goal at Maine Road was scored by by Mark Vivian Foe. Yes, rest in peace Mark Vivian Foe. He scored the last goal here at Maine Road for City, and just 45 days later, whilst playing for Cameroon, he sadly died whilst on the pitch. But yeah, an amazing place this is. It's great that they've kept some of the old traditions, the centre circle, and they've renamed some roads, Citizens and Blue Moon and stuff like that, which is really good. It's a nice nod to Man City and stuff like that. But yeah, let's leave their old home now and get down to the Etihad, or what used to be called the City of Manchester Stadium. And yeah, look at this, first impressions of City. Well, second impressions, I did come here for a League Cup semi-final back in 2012 as an away fan, as a Liverpool fan, and yeah, amazing to be back. It wasn't this sunny when I came on a cold Tuesday evening, but yeah, here I am now back at the Etihad, and this video does have a sponsor today. A huge thank you to Foco for sending me a package of masks, which I will be giving away as part of this video, and if I can find the club shop, I will include some items that I buy in there as well as part of the giveaway. So all you need to do is like this post, which is on Instagram right now. You need to like it, you need to follow me, you need to follow Foco, you need to tag one friend in that post as well. If you've already followed myself and Foco from the Everton competition, and you don't win that, then don't worry, you don't need to unfollow and then refollow or anything like that. Just keep on following. If you're following both of us, plus you like the post and tag one friend, you'll be in with a chance of winning the Man City goodies, which are on screen right now. But yeah, Foco are class. They have officially licensed products from clubs all around the world, including Man City. So I'll include some on screen just now. Their spring summer range has just been launched, and you're not going to want to miss out on some of the great products they have on there. So yeah, do go check them out. First link in the description box below. I'll also do a pinned comment to the competition post on Instagram, making it really easy for you. So yeah, pinned comment or first link in the description box below. Go check out Foco. Cheers. And look at that up there, Formidables, spell F-O-U-R of course, for the 18-19 season, where they won the treble, the Carabao Cup, the Premier League and the FA Cup, plus the Community Shield, making 4 trophies in one season. The Formidables. And yeah, despite of course all of the success that they've had in recent years, they haven't always done that well in the Champions League. So yeah, despite not doing that well in the Champions League, they do have a UEFA title to their name, and that's the European Cup Winners' Cup from 1970. They beat a Polish team that I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but yeah, just look at this. I'm blown away by this day. What a lovely day for it. So yeah, that season that they won the Cup Winners' Cup, they also won the League Cup as well. They had legends like Colin Bell, Tony Book and Mike Summerbee that season, and yeah, they had such a legendary team back in the 60s and 70s, full of legends who a lot of maybe newer City fans all around the world maybe wouldn't have heard of before. City won numerous league titles down the years, from yeah, tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3 titles, all the way to yeah, cups and community shields and that kind of stuff. Any City fans out there watching, what was your best pre-2008, so pre sort of takeover, what was your favourite like City moment? And look, talking of City moments, there are pictures all around the stadium here, like I love, as you know, of yeah, the City timeline of the City's history. So look, in 1880, the first reported football match played by St Mark's. 4 years later, they posed for this photograph. 1894, club changed its name to Man City. The City we know was born. There you go. Look, the Blues beat Bolton Wanderers in the 1904 FA Cup final. See, they've won all these trophies now, and like I was saying earlier, how many cups they've won in recent times. But look, you have to go back to 1904 to when they won the first FA Cup. Look at that. 1920, King George V attended City v Liverpool. This is the first time a reigning monarch attended a football match. And there, look, 1923, as I was telling you earlier, the club moves to the 85,000 seat, or not seater, it was more standing back then, wasn't it, capacity Maine Road. And look, there is the centre circle, the same centre circle that we were stood on earlier on. How amazing is that? Look at that, great to see it. And great to see it be remembered here at their new stadium as well. And it's actually amazing. I'm going to take you around the whole area in a minute. There's like a bridge which takes you over to like a training campus or something like that as well. The club shop's just over there. This is absolutely mad. But just to take in the history for a moment. Look, 1934, City win the FA Cup, beating Portsmouth 2-1. Proving here, look, with this wall, that Man City aren't all about the new money. There was history here before. They're a really old, prestigious club before the money came in. Look, speaking about how well they were supported back in the day, in 1934, a record crowd of almost 85,000 attend a game against Stoke City. 37, Man City were the league champions for the first time. Here's a man I mentioned earlier when we were down at Maine Road. Look, Bert Troutman plays the final 15 minutes of the FA Cup final with a broken neck, which City won 3-1. That is one of the most famous FA Cup stories you'll ever hear. 1966, signing for City in 66, he's regarded Man City's best ever player. The Colin Bell stand is named in his honour. Colin Bell there, one of the legends of the club, pre the like current era really. And look at his badge there, look how similar it is to the current badge. Of course, football badges go through a number of changes, don't they? But the badge that is on his shirt just there looks very similar to the current one. I absolutely love this. You lot know, or the regular viewers anyway, would know how much I love investigating stadiums, and to see the history of it here and trying to match it together with like the current state of City, I absolutely love it. Look, seeing the badges, how they're so similar. Seeing the old cup wins, look, the golden era continues. They had a golden era, look, 68, they won the championship. 69, they won the cup. They had a golden era back in the 60s. They won the League Cup in 1970. Look at that. So they've had some great teams over the years, Man City, and it's not all just about the modern times. And there it is, the 1970 season that I was talking about when they won the League Cup. As you can see on the right there is the League Cup, and over there is the Cup Winners' Cup, which they won. A great double, a prestigious double to win in the 1970 season there. Look, in 1997. They changed their badge to that, which is kind of the badge I knew City having growing up. They've obviously changed it back now to one of the, like a different design to that one anyway, but more similar to their older designs. It's funny how badges come and go, isn't it? Like the cycles that they take. 1999, Paul Dickoff scores in the 5th minute of added time for a remarkable comeback in the 2nd Division playoff final. So really not that long ago, City were, you know, up and down the divisions, a bit of a yo-yo club. You see there, 2003, the club moved into an impressive new home with a 47,000 capacity. The Etihad Stadium now holds 55,000. And there you go, look, the women's team was relaunched in 2012. It's almost hard to remember the Thaksin Shinawatra era. I think I'm saying it right, Thaksin Shinawatra, the Thai owner. It's hard to remember his era, like before the Sheikhs came in from the UAE and like pumped money into the club. In 2007, the former Thai Prime Minister bought Man City, and it was his dream to turn them into the force that they once were. Remember, we've seen all the trophies that they won back in like the 60s and 70s and stuff, with men look like Colin Bell here playing for them. And yeah, it was the Thai man, the Thai former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, who wanted to change City's fortunes. In the 2007-2008 season, Shinawatra, I hope I'm saying it right, hired Sven-Göran Eriksson to be the manager of Man City, and they bought the likes of, hang on a second, they bought the likes for £45 million. This is all in total, all these players, which was a lot back then, I suppose. It was Martin Petrov that they bought, Gelson Fernandez, who remembers Bianchi as well, and Bojinov, and Garrido, Elano, and Giovanni. They signed a lot of players in the Shinawatra era who didn't really quite live up to their expectations. They signed Philip Caicedo and Benjani in January. But yeah, they're a little bit different to these stars that you see City buying today. But it was certainly a statement of intent from City that they wanted to, yeah, rise up the ranks, spend money and compete with the big four that were at the time. And yeah, there's obviously now a big six which City are a part of. But yeah, an 8-1 loss on the final day of the season resulted in Sven losing his job, not surprisingly, of course. But yeah, after that, Mark Hughes took over. Mark Hughes came in, and Shinawatra had £800 million or thereabouts frozen in his accounts in Thailand, and City were on the brink of financial ruin. Yeah, they were in financial trouble in 2008 until transfer deadline day, the summer transfer deadline day, when an Abu Dhabi based group bought the club. They must have seen big potential in Man City. Of course, they're in Manchester, a huge city, probably big enough to have two big football clubs, you know, playing on the same weekend and still fill out the stadiums. The club was in disarray. Maybe they saw it as their way to buy a club cheaply. And also they had just moved in here at the City of Manchester Stadium, now of course called the Etihad Stadium. But yeah, they just moved in here, the club was in disarray, they'd had new players brought in, they had Mark Hughes at the helm. They were a club ready to go on a big run and get, you know, and challenge the top four. And that is when the United Arab Emirates-based business group came in. They made an instant impact with the signing of Robinho on deadline day for £32.5 million, a British transfer record at the time, I believe. And yeah, it looked destined that he was going to join the Russian oil money of West London, of Chelsea, but he changed his mind to yeah, join the Middle Eastern oil money of Manchester instead. Despite Robinho's inconsistent form, it was still a big statement of intent from City to buy him, and the fact that he wanted to not go to Chelsea or to Man United or whatever and come to City instead, it was a huge statement of intent. And yeah, I'm sure football fans all over the land were now starting to fear this force, Manchester City. But yeah, from the era just before, Bianchi and Benjani don't really strike fear into the hearts of Premier League defences, I suppose, but Robinho did. And even though he flopped a little bit, like I say, it was a statement of intent for Man City. But who would come next would be the ones, the big legends that would eventually win trophies and bring the glory back here. Thanks very much. Cheers. Remember, pinned comment and you can win this stuff. So let me just read you out a quick quote from Sheikh Mansour when he bought the club. So, I'm a football fan and I hope that you'll see that I am now also a Manchester City fan. But I'm also a long-term investor, and that is probably more important to the club and to you because it means we are here for the long haul, and that we will always act always in the best interest of the club and all of its stakeholders, especially you, the fans. So yeah, it's fair to say that, you know, City's fortunes have changed over the years since Sheikh Mansour came in, but it wasn't all plain sailing, especially in the early days. City's first season with the richest man or the richest football owner in the world at the helm, yeah, it was inconsistent, but they did try and buy Kaká. They shocked the football world in trying to sign the Brazilian playmaker for a fee of around £100 million, and I bet they're glad that they didn't, because yeah, it probably would have been a bit of a flop considering like what happened to him at Real Madrid. Anyway, yeah, whether it was going to take 1, 5 or 10 years, the signing of Robinho plus the attempted signing of Kaká kind of felt as if, you know, it made City one of the big forces in world football. Whether they signed Kaká or not, the transfer window that Mark Hughes had in the summer was always going to be massive for City. So who did they sign that year? They signed Roque Santa Cruz, Gareth Barry, Emmanuel Adebayor, Kolo Touré, Joleon Lescott and Carlos Tevez. And yeah, seeing you know, Tevez swap Manchester's, or the red side of Manchester for the blue, that was a huge coup for Man City. Hughes was sacked for inconsistent form during the season, and former Inter Milan manager who had just won 3 titles on the spin back to back for, yeah, in Serie A for Inter Milan, Roberto Mancini was hired. Yeah, he had quite the CV and won 11 out of his first 21 league matches here at Man City in that kind of second half of the season where he was in charge, and he even led City to their highest finish since 1992, finishing in 5th. However, they did just miss out on the Champions League due to that famous game against Tottenham. The next summer is where City splurged though. Let me just read you out who they signed that summer. So this was the one where, you know, legends were pretty much brought in. You've got Jerome Boateng, David Silva, Yaya Touré, Alexander Kolarov, Mario Balotelli and James Milner. And it was in that season that after a good cup run, they faced Manchester United for the first time ever at Wembley. It's amazing to think that 2 such huge teams had never played each other at Wembley before, but yeah, it was that season that they faced them at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final. Paul Scholes got sent off. Yaya Touré, one of their summer signings, scored the decisive goal, which sent them to Wembley, where they won the FA Cup against Stoke. Yeah, they went on to beat Stoke in the final that year, their 5th FA Cup in total that was, and their first major trophy in 35 years. And so yeah, what have the UAE-based group done for Man City? It's not just the trophies, it's not just the Aguero moment and Touré and Silva and all these other legends that have played here and all the trophies and on-pitch successes, not all that. This whole area of Manchester has been brilliantly done up. It has had so much investment into it, and there is, yeah, the training campus, there's the Etihad campus, there's all the different sports centres, they're building houses, they're building indoor arenas. It's amazing, not just what they've done on the pitch, but what they've done off it for this area as well. But yeah, we've seen money flood the Premier League in loads of different ways, and probably more so here in Man City than anywhere else. We've seen the likes of, you know, De Bruyne, Ederson, Aguero, Silva, Touré, but you mustn't forget the past of Man City with the Colin Bells and the Bert Strautmans, the imposing Etihad Stadium behind me. looks tremendous, wouldn't you say, on a day like today? Just check that out. And yeah, look, this bridge here, by all accounts, should take me across to the, is it Etihad campus or maybe Man City training centre or something like that? It is where every single Manchester City team trains, from the first team to the women to the youth. Say what you want about, you know, Man City maybe buying their success on the pitch or whatever, but you can't take away from how they've developed this entire area. And, you know, would this whole area have been developed if there wasn't the money in football? I'm not sure. But yeah, it does remind me a little bit of La Masia, how that's quite close to Barcelona's stadium, the Camp Nou. Of course, La Masia is one of the most famous football academies in the world, and City do have former Barcelona staff working here in director of football roles and that kind of stuff. So it's no surprise really that City are trying to model kind of the success that Barca have had, I suppose. Look at this place. Do the women play here? Do the youth teams play here? I'm sure they must do. But just look at that. Do they train on here, the City team? There's training pictures through there as well. This place is honestly unreal. Just football everywhere you look. It's absolutely class to see, isn't it? And yeah, City have come a long way from their earlier days with the likes of Colin Bell, and even through to, you know, the Darius Vassell and Joey Barton era. They've come a long way since then, and just look at them now. Look, there's their new badge, which is kind of similar to the old one, like I mentioned earlier. And yeah, it's great to see these areas getting developed as much as just seeing the football teams doing well as well. Please do remember to hit that like button. It really, really does help. And subscribe if you're new. If you could also pass the vlog to someone else, just let someone know it exists. Show them one video and see if they want to subscribe. I don't know. I'd really, really appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, then please, please do. We're so close to 20k subs, and I'm getting to more and more stadiums as the country opens up. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you can win this stuff. Go to the pinned comment and also check out Foco. They are the first link in the description box. So first link in the description box, Foco, pinned comment, win the stuff. It's that easy. Thank you so much for watching. I'll leave some videos around my head. Click on one of them to keep on watching. Cheers, and I'll see you in the next one.